Money can feel confusing, even when you're doing your best to manage it. You earn income, you pay your bills, maybe you save a little when you can, but somehow it still feels like progress is slow. Many people quietly wonder if they're missing something, some simple principle that would make everything finally start working. My name is Mike, and on this channel I share calm, practical guidance to help you make clearer financial decisions without pressure or hype. If you enjoy simple, thoughtful conversations about money like this, you can gently support the channel by liking the video and subscribing so you don't miss future guides. Now, when people hear the phrase money secrets, they often imagine complicated strategies or insider tricks used by wealthy investors. But in reality, the biggest financial breakthroughs usually come from a few simple ideas that quietly change the way you think about money. Once you understand these ideas, everyday financial decisions start to make more sense. Not because you suddenly earn more, but because you begin to manage money in a different way. Let's start with something many people never realize early in life. Money problems are rarely about intelligence. They're almost always about structure and habits. Most of us were never taught how money systems work. We learn how to earn money through work, but very few people explain what should happen after the paycheck arrives. As a result, many people operate on what could be called a reaction-based system. Money comes in, bills are paid. Whatever is left gets used for everyday life. Sometimes a little goes to savings if things go well that month. But this approach leaves your financial progress completely dependent on willpower and circumstances. If a few unexpected expenses appear, savings disappear. If you feel tired or stressed, spending becomes easier. If income increases, lifestyle quietly grows with it. The first big financial secret is that stable finances rarely happen by accident. They usually happen because someone created a simple structure that tells money where to go. Instead of asking, "What should I do with money this month?" a structure answers the question automatically. For example, a clear system might divide your income into 3 basic roles: living money, protection money, future money. Living money covers everyday life: housing, food, transportation, and reasonable enjoyment. Protection money builds stability through emergency savings and financial buffers. Future money grows through long-term investing. When each dollar has a job before you spend it, something interesting happens. Financial stress slowly decreases. Not because life becomes perfect, but because money stops floating around without direction. The second financial insight that changes everything is understanding the difference between saving and investing. Both are important, but they serve very different purposes. Savings protect you from short-term surprises. Investing helps you build long-term growth. Many people mix these two ideas together, which creates confusion. Savings belong in safe, accessible places, like a high-yield savings account or cash reserves. Investments, on the other hand, are designed to grow over long periods of time, often through diversified funds that track large sections of the market. When you keep these roles separate, financial decisions become clearer. Savings create safety. Investments create growth. The third idea that often changes how people think about money is the power of consistency. We tend to focus on big financial moves, the perfect investment, the ideal moment to buy something, the perfect market timing. But in reality, financial progress usually comes from small, consistent decisions repeated over many years. Regular investing, steady saving, avoiding unnecessary debt, letting time quietly do its work. This doesn't feel dramatic in the moment, but over long periods of time, consistency becomes one of the most powerful forces in personal finance. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine Spender Mike. Spender Mike works hard and earns a solid income, but his approach to money is mostly reactive. If he sees something he enjoys, a new gadget, a weekend trip, a restaurant with friends, he tells himself he deserves it because he works hard. None of these purchases seem extreme individually, but because Spender Mike doesn't have a clear structure guiding his money, spending quietly absorbs most of his income. At the end of the month, there isn't much left for savings or investing. From Spender Mike's perspective, the situation feels frustrating. He isn't irresponsible, and he isn't making huge mistakes, but progress still feels slow. Now imagine something small changes. Spender Mike creates a simple rule. Before spending anything beyond basic living costs, a portion of his income automatically goes to savings and investments. Not a huge amount, just a steady percentage. At first, this feels restrictive, but over time something interesting happens. Spender Mike adapts. Spending adjusts naturally to what remains. Savings begin to grow. Investments slowly accumulate. What changed wasn't his income. It was the system guiding his behavior. Another important financial insight involves understanding lifestyle inflation. When income increases, spending often increases at the same pace. A slightly nicer apartment, more frequent dining out, upgraded gadgets, a newer car. None of these decisions are necessarily wrong, but if spending always rises alongside income, financial progress stays frozen. Learning to allow income to grow faster than lifestyle is one of the quiet habits that separates stable finances from constant financial pressure. That doesn't mean avoiding enjoyment. It simply means allowing part of every raise or bonus to strengthen your financial foundation. Another common misunderstanding involves complexity. Many people assume successful investing must be complicated. They imagine professional traders watching markets every day or analyzing hundreds of companies. But for most individuals, a simple long-term investing strategy works extremely well. Diversified funds that track large markets, automatic contributions, patience. The goal isn't to outsmart the market every month. The goal is to participate in long-term growth while avoiding unnecessary risks. Now let's talk about a few mistakes that often slow people down. One common mistake is waiting for the perfect moment to start. People sometimes believe they need more income, more knowledge, or the perfect plan before they begin managing money seriously. But financial progress almost always begins with imperfect action. A small emergency fund, a simple investment account, a basic spending structure. These early steps create momentum. Another mistake is focusing only on income. While increasing income can certainly help, strong financial systems matter just as much. Without structure, higher income can simply lead to higher spending. But with structure, even modest income can begin building stability and long-term growth. A third mistake is relying entirely on motivation. Motivation is helpful, but it fades quickly. Systems are more reliable. Automatic transfers, clear financial rules, simple habits that don't require constant attention. When your finances run partly on autopilot, consistency becomes easier. So if you want to apply these ideas in your own life, here's a simple action plan you can follow. Start by understanding where your money currently goes. Not in a judgmental way, just in an observational way. Look at the past 1 or 2 months of spending and notice patterns. Next, decide how you want your income to be divided between living, protection, and future money. You don't need a complicated formula. Even a simple rule like saving and investing a small percentage consistently can begin changing your financial trajectory. Then build a basic safety buffer. An emergency fund covering several months of essential expenses can dramatically reduce financial stress. After that, begin investing regularly for long-term growth. You don't need perfect timing. Consistency matters far more than timing. Finally, automate as much of this process as possible. Automatic transfers remove the need for daily decisions and help your system continue working quietly in the background. Over time, these small structures create something powerful: financial clarity. You no longer wonder where your money went. You know where it's going. That shift changes how people experience money. Instead of feeling reactive and uncertain, finances begin to feel stable and predictable. And once that foundation exists, larger goals become easier to pursue. Buying a home, reducing work stress, supporting family, or simply feeling more relaxed about the future. In the end, the real money secrets are not mysterious at all. They are simple principles that quietly guide everyday decisions. Give your money a structure. Separate savings from investing. Stay consistent. Avoid letting lifestyle grow faster than your financial foundation. And let time do its work. None of this requires perfection, just steady progress. And over time, those small improvements can completely change the direction of your financial life. If this video helped clarify these ideas or answered some of the questions you've had about money, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here with more calm, practical conversations to help you build a stronger and more confident financial future.